back to Low Spark Podcast. I am sitting here with a lot of familiar faces. Leo Guinan, RJ Zimmerman, and Up for the Challenge. My basic point on all of this is that friendship matters. With every kind of mental health you have, friendship actually can get you through a lot of life's ultimate challenges. So, I'm going to ask Leo first. What does friendship mean to you?
Friendship to me means deciding at the last moment that you might as well just fly across the fucking country and end up down visiting a friend. And that being one thing, and most people just leave it there and be appreciative of having one friend come into town. But true friendship is actually saying, you know, fuck it. Other people probably want to be here too. And then just 100%. Putting it into the motion of getting people here, anybody you can, and seeing who is available and just willing to come out and hang out and have a good fucking time. And you know what? That's so vital to mental health. Like, I didn't even have to ask for that. Look at that. That's fucking power right there, man. Like, that's what friendship does. And seriously, though, like, it's amazing how valuable this is to mental health and being able to be around people who support you no matter what. And you get to just be yourself, let it all hang out without worrying about who's going to judge you for what, or, you know, you say shit and you're just joking around and having a good time. And man, that fucking matters way more than anybody realizes. It's so valuable to just have people to talk to and who believe in you and, you know, love you and care about you, and just you can have a great fucking time with, because
Perfect.
Ultimately, that's what it fucking means. That's what it's all about.
That's what matters. I'm going to shift this and go with Up for the Challenge next. What does friendship mean to you, buddy? I know. It's hard.
If anyone's watched any of my podcasts and me on here with it, I fucking hate this shit.
I know, and that's why we're doing it.
Well, I wouldn't even, there's just something by the way. It's just sort of, it's just to piss me off, guys. If you're wondering,
and that's what friends do. That is what this is.
I mean, I mean, you go off of what Leo said. The whole idea of just being yourself, because most of the time, if anyone's ever watched me on anything else, or you've come across it, I am on tenterhooks a lot of the time because of how I am perceived by others. So, especially because of, you know, just the way I am in general, the way I've had to be because of masking and everything else. So when other people have also been masking for 30 years, kind of helps. It's like, oh, I get why you're doing that. Like, it's, you know, there's braggadociousness and things like that will come out for a lot of people. But if you've been masking for a long time and you understand insecurities, you get that as well. So, yeah, it's I'd go with that.
Is it helpful to have people around you that understand you and how you're?
Well, that's the important thing. It's right. Get it, because it's you know, you can have 20, 30, 40 people around you. If all they think is, oh, this guy is this, because they don't understand why you're saying stuff. So anecdotal communication, which is the way that all four of us communicate, which is basically where we try and show that we really understand by saying basically something that's happened really similar to ourselves, to show that to a lot of people that are neurotypical, they see that as you trying to control the conversation or you showing off about something. It's like, no, that's us trying to show that we really get it. So that's the problem. You can have one person that understands is better than 50 that don't half the time.
Okay. More than half. I mean, we can use all the maths and figure out that that's actually better all the time.
We've had this discussion all weekend because, again, we're here in real life, maths versus math.
Wrong way around, but he's just admitted that I'm right with that, so...
No, all I said was that it was a competition. I didn't say who won.
Hey, you pointed to the wrong people. That's fine. You carry on.
It doesn't matter who the wrong.
Again, people facts don't matter. You're an American now.
There is no right. There is no wrong. Remember, we discussed this. You just said it. RJ, what does friendship mean to you?
I am so glad that you asked me, because friendship means...
I swear to God, get that shit out of here.
For those at home, friendship really does mean unicorn cakes.
Yeah. For those at home, this is Low Mouth Spark. It fucking doesn't. Okay, what it means is, what is your opinion of it?
editing software means there's now a box floating above.
Y'all are gonna fucking kill me on this. I know it. But RJ, seriously, what has this meant to you? Like, what is friendship to you?
It's
a text message.
Realizing, right? And that is one of them, right?
Yeah.
But it's realizing how much of your life you spent trying to fit in, and understanding that you can just belong, which is what we've been talking about, right?
Right.
And you just get to be yourself. And when you're yourself, people appreciate that. But when you go through life masking and pretending to be somebody different at work, at home, as a parent, with your family, with, the softball team, when you're out with the guys, when you're out with, mixed, different couples, right? And you're like hanging out with them, you always show up as a different person. You don't even know who you are because you're trying to fit in that entire time. But the true friendship that comes from being understood, that's where you get to figure out who the fuck you are. And then you just get to be that, and that freedom that comes from that. That's where that real friendship comes in.
Wow.
Fucking magically said.
Yeah, that was...
I do want to add on to that real quick, just because Absolutely. It made me think of something. That's actually one of the magical things about the internet is, wherever you are in the world, there may not be people who understand you. Maybe, you're different and you view the world in a different way than the people around you. But the internet gives you a place where you can actually find people who really understand, the true you. And that's the kind of magic of the world we live in. And so, we're scattered geographically, but we were able to find each other through the, power of the internet. And then, we turn that into real friendship by putting in the work and putting in the effort to get to know each other, and finding people that you just resonate with where you don't have to mask. And that's the thing. Like, for me so long, it was all about, like, I masked because I didn't have anyone I could find to, like, fit in with. So I just tried to find somebody. But with the internet, like, it's a big fucking world out there. You can find anybody who can, like, really align with who you are and let you be yourself. And that is just a magical fucking thing.
It gets more than that as well. Because the biggest thing, going from what I said before and what you were saying there, is people that say they get it and are, shut the fuck up. You don't.
I love you.
You really don't. And it pisses me off so much. Especially pisses me off because this is where I go into my high horse, because it's something the rest of you don't have. Things like...
Do you mean your high unicorn?
I do.
Yes.
These lovely unicorns. But
I swear to God.
Bitch, I'm editing it. So
it's the national animal Scotland, right? That's a
exactly
thing.
Unicorns Scotland. So the Brit held them up. It makes sense.
Right.
But, so like when you have people, especially like OCD, when people go, "Oh, I get it. I'm clean and tidy too." That's not what OCD is.
Oh.
If somebody's like says to you, if you've got autism, and goes, "Oh yeah, no, I get it. I like to make tables and lists too." Shut the fuck up. It's okay not to understand what we're going through. Just listen to us and talk through. You can be a friend. You can be helpful. You can be everything. The second you pretend you understand what we're going through, we are going to close off to you in some way. And that's not even necessarily intentional. We just know that you're not worth talking to anymore because you've made it very clear.
We've had that conversation before.
Doing that. Yeah. And it's just irritating as hell because people try to... the OCD gets me the most because it's so misrepresented. But when people are just going to go, "Oh yeah, well, I've got a bit of OCD, or I've got a bit of ADHD, I've got a bit of autism." No, you don't. You've either got it or you don't have it. And that's not to say that if that's diagnosed or undiagnosed, if it's present and seen as what it is, that's the thing. But you don't have a bit of it. You don't dye your hair. It's not like dyeing your hair one bit and going, "Oh, look, I've got a bit of pink hair." No, motherfucker, it's different than that. And that's something people really need to understand, because all you're doing is pushing the rest of us down. And then you wonder why we get pissed off and push back. That's why.
Yeah. 100%.
It's all about, what does friendship mean to you, buddy?
Shit, we're meant to let him talk.
What all y'all said, this is what I do. I have the love in my heart, and then I pass the buck to y'all to discuss it. Because I'm not great at discussing these things. I don't have this knowledge you do. All I know is that I was ridiculed and told I was stupid all throughout high school, and our fan over here can attest to that. But I'm not. I'm fucking brilliant. And I want other people to recognize that too, because all of a sudden I decided to start talking, and now we've got a person from England, from Virginia, from Ohio here That's the whole point. Thank you. That was awesome. I love that. Hunter's hired forever.
Everything now has to be filmed in front of a live studio.
We created a monster.
Right. But the thing is, I don't care about followers. I don't care about the numbers. All I care about is getting through to someone that doesn't have friends, that thinks that they can't make friends or whatever, and then all of a sudden they show up authentically themselves and they're amazing. That's it. You want to talk about the closest thing we have for a cure to mental health? It's fucking this. That's what it is. It's not those, by the way.
Those really fucking help.
Nothing to do with the Little Debbie's.
Unicorn cakes.
See, Scotland made
Scotland-
the unicorn the
Scotland's
national animal.
The national animal. So
But fucking America turned them into cake.
Filled with unicorn
that,
jizz.
I mean, that is
And
a
a
perfect
sparkling
representation.
strawberry.
With unicorn jizz, really, RJ? Really? But that's what we
It's
do.
sparkling strawberry, okay?
That's what we do here. Is we can
But
just
this is the point as well. Take a piss out of each other.
right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And that is glitteringly
That's what
delicious.
friends do. They yell at each other.
Well
they
done.
they
RJ.
tell each
Thank
other
you
to
for that.
fuck off.
That was beautiful on a number of levels there. I don't know if you caught that.
Wait, are we talking about the unicorn jizz?
Well, yes. RJ referred to it as
Yeah.
literally delicious.
Great. Literally
Which
delicious.
I needed to say that again because actually that's really fun to say. Literally delicious.
Yeah, I think I'm going to
That's,
stop the podcast after this episode. However,
because he wants a unicorn cake.
fucking A. But no, honestly, if you're struggling in your life, reach out to us. We will talk to you. That's it. Won't we? Won't.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you're probably going to want us to shut up at some point. So at least doing it here, you can have the option of turning us off.
Exactly.
If you actually
So,
talk to us,
We will
that's
even
harder.
listen.
We will come to you and show up in person.
RJ just said, we will listen. And you were so.
Yeah.
That's what
No,
happens.
I'll interrupt if I can show up. Probably on the wrong day, but because I wasn't listening.
I met Leo 3 years ago, RJ 2 years ago, and Up a year and a half ago. And now we're all sitting here together as friends. That's it. That's it. It's really not difficult to love people.
We met back when it was called Twitter.
Oh,
It's
God.
still called Twitter. Just for the record.
Twitter.
Just for the record. It's still
I
called
can't
Twitter.
believe I'm on social media. Jesus Christ, what the hell?
Back in my day.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll talk to people who end up being me, and that's just weird.
Yeah, well, when you basically when you care about something so much, you just do it, and that's what a lot of people do. Is when they care, they just do it. They're not worried about the outcome, and that ultimately leads to a better life. I cared about one team. I still work there. I care about this podcast. I still do it. This isn't the death sentence you think it is. I promise you. Last thing I have to, by the way, we have a lot of rednecks in the background singing, which is awesome. But
We call that ambiance.
last question for my friends now, some of my best friends. I'm going to start with RJ. What are you most proud of me for?
Okay.
Damn it!
Thank you.
I was going
Yes.
to fucking answer that
Yes.
question. And you put it over to me. Shit.
I knew it. I could tell in your eyes. I knew it.
I am most proud of you for your ability to bring the best out of everybody and how that looks in just you caring about what they bring to the table. Like the way that you show up and the way that you make other people feel cared for. And, I always have that picture of Peyton Manning and the butcher yelling, "Cut that meat, cut that meat." Like that's you, except it's not a comedy, like it's real life. And you really feel that energy. Even when we're talking on the phone, when we're on a Zoom call, when we're in person, it doesn't matter.
No.
You always get that feeling.
So,
from you.
so you're saying that I care? Perfect.
And
That's
you
that's
make
the
it
best
obvious.
compliment
Like,
that I get.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't hide it.
So
Yeah.
we're going to shift this a little bit. Leo, what are you most proud of Up for?
Ooh, that's a good one. Threw me a curveball. I like that. Didn't see that one coming.
What I
But
do.
it's baseball, so that's the American thing. And
Oh,
I can
no.
hit that out of the park. It's just a kid's game.
No,
so
no, baseball's so slow.
Life's gonna throw you a curveball, so you might as well learn how to hit the curve, right?
that's right.
We're just not watching that damn game.
No. Honestly, I'm really proud of Up for everything he's done in terms of showcasing how it's possible to kind of like run all sorts of multiple things and help like, you know, various set of skills, and all of a sudden like, you know, not Taken wise, more like YouTube, but really helping and just get all of that stuff organized and helpful, and, you know, bringing in just an immense amount of knowledge into anything, always willing to show up for a conversation, fucking record it, not whatever, always willing to talk about anything. And, you know, it's honestly, it's a fucking breath of fresh air, because a lot of people just won't be interested in talking about, you know, all sorts of the oddities of life and just the random shit that occurs. And it's just awesome to have like someone else who does that, because that's very much a thing that I do. And so I certainly appreciate someone else bringing in all sorts of random facts, because unfortunately I know the ones that I know, and it's not nearly as amusing to me as other people bringing in all of the obscure facts from all walks of life. And
awesome.
Yeah, just you know, also like really just setting an example for you know, for me in terms of like travel and like the freedom of just like fucking going out and exploring and shit, and you know, seeing like the autistic person do the thing that, like, if you follow the textbook definition of what everybody tries to tell you about like being autistic, and, you know, scared of change and things that aren't like set in stone, like you fucking travel all over the world, nothing's set in stone. Like it's amazing how different cultures are, but you showcase that like, oh no, you can do it. Like you get used to it, and if that's what you care about, that's what you do, and it doesn't matter what the fucking label is you put on yourself. Like you determine what that means to you. And Up, I think you've been a perfect example of doing exactly that, and just building a life around the shit that you fucking know and care about, and putting that out into the world and setting a good example for the rest of us. So like I'm able to fucking just travel all over like where I feel like, and I'm kind of using that as inspiration of like, no, I can do this. And it turns out, you know, I guess I fucking can. I might be on there on the wrong day.
There it is.
Or
Yeah,
shit, yeah. There we go.
There it is. 100%. Up. You can phrase this however you want, but what are you most proud of Leo for?
Firstly, I fucking hated all of that. I hate that phrase. Anyway, you can all fuck off.
This is where you kill this guy. Okay, so, right now you love him. That's what happens.
That's the thing.
Yeah. So much love. So much love.
Oh,
I know.
That's a different level.
So there's a lake back there. He may not do another episode. So you fuck off. So
I love
for Leo, I think that the one of the biggest things is putting yourself out there for certain things. I mean, you just said it of me, but I think like you've just come for a conference to get here first, and you're putting out a brand new kind of idea. You're writing about it as well as then developing it and talking to different people, talking to people in different countries. You're actually doing it. And yes, you've said it about me with going out there and with countries, but you are being multifaceted in a specific thing that you've identified, want to attack it, use the connections that you have, that you've then created more. I mean, you even at the conference bumped into someone who is a user of something you're doing already, which kind of shows that it's working or that it's getting out there. So the fact that you're making those connections, you're getting out and doing it for things that we don't even know at this point how far and wide they could potentially go. Being able to actually have confidence in yourself, because that's a big thing. Because I think, and this is hard for a lot of people to understand. So I can only bring it back on myself in terms of this. My insecurity is high as fuck. Like I don't have that same amount of confidence most of the time to do that for me. So in my mind, that's a big thing, because I'm confident enough in the things that I can do, but that's not me that I have the confidence in. And I think that's a really big thing if you suffer from mental health, to have not just the confidence in something you're doing, but the confidence in yourself to be able to do it. So I'm definitely proud of you to be able to latch hold of your own confidence in yourself with your skill to then push it forward.
So I want to bring this back for 1 second to this guy right here, because he actually met me when I was not able to do that very well at all. And actually being on his podcast was one of the first things that unlocked that for me, because he just reached out and was like, hey, come talk to me on this podcast about ADHD, because it was something that I was learning about myself. And he was willing to make that first step. And one of the things I've taken from that is I really try to be the first step for others that I would have liked to have. And that all comes, again, back to the friendship that gets formed, and people have confidence in you, and you're able to take that confidence and, put that out into the world. And people see it as like, oh, wow, that's really impressive. But it all starts with friendship. Everything stems from friendship.
It does. It's a domino effect. You care about one person, they care about someone else, then they care about 2 other people, 3, 4, 6, 10, 100, 90,000. The sky's the limit if you give a fuck about the person. Like, that's it. Honestly, thank you. That was the best compliment I ever received in my whole life. But I appreciate that. Anything else anyone would like to say about each other before we close this off?
I think you need to chime in with what you're proud of the 3 of us. You got to put it back out.
You can leave me out that one.
No. Actually, I'm going to start with that.
I think I'll start with that.
Yeah.
I am most proud of you for. Oh God, I know it hurts, but this will be good. I'm most proud of you for reaching out and at least giving me a chance to talk to you every day. Just giving me a chance, just one chance to be like, you know what? I like the guy. I'd like to talk to him every day while he's going through a downtime. You gave me a chance. That not a lot of people do that. And I am most proud of you for giving this stupid Southerner a chance. It's been a lot, but also in terms of your characteristics, I'm also proud of you for proving me the fuck wrong with every goddamn conversation we have. But I'm also the most proud of you because I think you have a heart beyond anyone's conscionable thought. I know you hate it. I know you do, but you do. You do.
That's your interpretation of reality.
Hey, we're in America. We know an enlarged heart when we see one.
Good. That was good. Little Debbie.
All thanks to Little Debbie's
Oh my God.
lubricate.
Little Debbie, if you want to sponsor, Little Debbie sponsor the podcast.
Fuck yes.
Yes. They are glitteringly delicious.
I'm not finished on the proud of thing here, though, with Up. After Little Debbie's. No, you've shown me a world that I never knew existed, which was like somewhere outside of where I live, the country outside of where I live. You gave me an education and actually taught me things about mindfulness that I would never, ever, I hate classrooms. I hate them.
Okay, I want to get something on the record here.
Sorry, I love you.
No, you're good.
But I've never had a teacher that actually listened when I said, by the way, I can't be in a classroom. Fuck you for this. I'm not doing this. And then you're like, okay, well, how about this? And shifted roles to make me, the student, understand something that I never would have without you. It's impossible to teach me. Impossible.
And so that's why I want to get this on the record for just a second. I heard a rumor that he actually got you to open up a book. Willingly. Did that happen? I was a bit skeptical.
I opened it.
That's an achievement that nobody else on earth has. So, well done.
I
opened it.
What I'm going to say back immediately is, for anyone that's ever got a teacher that's any good, teachers don't teach you anything. You're teaching yourself. In the same way that I've always said to people, if you're going into a gym to work out and to improve on a better you don't thank the person that just shows you where the weights are. And that's all I did, and that's all I would do for anybody, is show them where the weights are. It's up to you to pick them up, to use them, to develop yourself in that way. So just because you've had bad teachers doesn't make me a great one. You can learn from anybody. It's just if they're willing to allow you to learn from yourself, which is the main point. That's not down to the teacher.
But that's
down
a characteristic, man. Like,
down to you.
It all goes back to instilling confidence in people.
Yeah,
to be able
to
do that.
It does. But Up, I love you.
Thank you for showing me where the weights are up.
I love you, Up. You're good. You're a great guy.
I'm still looking for the weights, but I'll figure out one of these things.
So RJ, what I'm most proud of RJ for is so I drink a lot. Okay, not that I'm most proud of you for for that, but RJ has shown me a way to kind of curtail. Is it curtail?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Perfect use of the word.
Holy shit! I
Yeah.
got something in.
Look,
You.
That's
That's
opens
osmosis.
books,
That's-
uses words like curtail.
He took the
Different
first
person.
page of that book as well.
I highlighted curtail. That was it. I just remember that. And you also helped me like understand that it doesn't have to be 1,000% balls to the wall every single day. You can still be balls to the wall with limits that can make you feel the same as if you are going balls to the wall. I desperately need that in my life. And no one's ever been able to show me that but you. So I'm extremely proud of you for catering your teachings and what you're doing with the alcohol-free program and all of that. But more so, I'm going to be conceited here. Like, the fucker helped me. Like, that's it. And not a lot of people can, and that's why we're friends. That's that's literally what it is. And now I know I don't have to go all out every single time. I need to find something that makes me feel like I'm going all out every single time without the disastrous side effects.
Yeah.
That's a massive quality to have. So, love you, RJ. Leo. What I'm most proud of you for is showing the fuck. I tell you this every time. Showing the fuck up. It was, hey, Leo, you want to come down to Florida? Yeah, I'll do it. You're the one that created all this.
Again, I mean,
you didn't think for a second that you had this ability to like make all these connections and do all these things, but you are now.
you showed me it was possible, and that's the thing. Like, so
I didn't do shit. Okay, you were like, hey, by the way, I'm a fucking awesome person. I'm proud of you for saying that to yourself. God damn it.
I'm around you, and you actually hear it all the time, which is a big difference for a lot of people with like mental health struggles and things that people don't understand. I want to point that out because one of the things that we hear over and over again is our deficiencies. And so being in a room with someone who is like, oh, actually, no, you're fucking awesome. And, you know, the world doesn't appreciate you. You start to understand what your good qualities are, as opposed to discounting those in favor of the stuff that you don't do well. And his whole, you know, your whole thing, where you're talking about like, what fucking matters? Like, the stuff that you're good at actually matters. The stuff that you're bad at, like, you can overcome that actually pretty fucking easy when you actually believe in yourself and go out and do what you can in the world. And so anything I do, like I've done because you've set that example, and I appreciate that.
Well, that's great, but this is about you again.
No, it's not.
But, so what I'm most
I'm
proud
a mirror and you're glue.
Captain America shield up, like.
What I'm most proud of you for is accepting that.
Yeah, I do accept it, and I appreciate it.
I love you, buddy.
Love you, man.
All right. Anybody else before we close this out? By the way, friendships matter, and fuck you if you think they don't. Sorry.
so-
Was that too forward?
So I do want to say too. I want to throw this out for RJ because I think one of the things that like you've shown here too is that you can be friends in areas where like it's like there's an understanding, and so. You know, as someone who, you know, you have an alcohol-free coaching program and, you know, it's something that you've opened up about, to be able to come hang out with friends who, you know, we do drink. And that's something that it happens. And being willing to, like, you know, put yourself in that situation, it's very powerful to have that full sense of self to where, like, and honestly, like, RJ, from what I've seen, like, you have no like peer pressure or whatever. Like it's still we make this a very inclusive thing, but you know it could very much be like a challenging thing. But you're so solid in who you are and what you want out of life that you can put yourself in any situation and it doesn't fucking matter because that's not going to change who you are and who you know you are now. And that solid sense of self is fucking amazing because so many people don't have that, which is why they like try to avoid anything that might put them in a soft spot that they might make a bad decision. When you actually know who the fuck you are and what you want out of life, it's not a decision. It's easy. And when you have friends who care about you and like, you know, accept you for, you know, whoever you are and whatever you're doing, and it's just a thing that you're welcome, like that's the part of friendship that makes everything easier because you don't have to question who you are
100%.
in order to make the decisions you need to make.
Yeah, it's basically if you have support from people that truly love you, not ones that say they love you because you'll get followers or whatever, but if you have people that truly love you, you can't fail.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's it. So,
Love is a success.
anyways, see you next week.